People who woke up politically yesterday morning will not remember the fact that Barack Hussein Obama was one of the biggest spreaders of big lies in the history of big lies in politics. The most obvious one, if you didn't live through it, was his Obamacare lie. Because from the very moment a guy named Jonathan Gruber helped design this and Mitt Romney helped launch a version of it, Medicare, they all knew the plan did not work if people were allowed to keep the insurance plans they liked. Jonathan Gruber, the guy who helped design this for Barack Hussein Obama, he bragged about the fact that the American people were so stupid they wouldn't realize this. So Obama went on a tour and he said, and gosh, I should have looked it up, maybe 800 times. If you like your plan, you can keep it. And this was because everybody knew that this was an attempt to move everybody into a Medicare type system. So he said this time and again. They launched a Twitter response team called Fishy, hashtag Fishy. If people are saying something fishy about Obamacare, tell us, and we'll look into it. People were turning in their friends and neighbors for saying fishy things about Obamacare. So he's had this fetish for a very, very long time. And yeah, there are some things on which we could check facts. We can do that by going to source data. We can do that by using, say, open source tools like the ones Data Republican builds. Now, those are some new tools, but those have always existed. You've always been able to go look into the Federal Election Commission files. You've always, for years, been able to look into open secrets. There are tools to do this. So Barack Hussein Obama doesn't mean fact-checking, but he has this weird word obsession with it. So let's do a side-by-side comparison of a way to fact-check without having to think that hard. Let's start with Barack Hussein Obama's fetish.
Part of what we're going to have to do is to start experimenting with new forms of journalism and how do we use social media in ways that reaffirm facts, separate facts from opinion. We want diversity of opinion. We don't want diversity of fact. By the way, it will require some government, I believe, regulatory constraints around some of these business models in a way that's consistent with the First Amendment, but that also says, look, there is a difference between these platforms letting all voices be heard versus a business model that elevates the most hateful voices.
There we go. The most hateful, because of course, hate is a fact. That's a fact check, right? So Barack Hussein Obama, in addition to lying about Obamacare, also lied about his role in going after President Trump on his way out the door. We've got the documents, we've got the FOIA stuff, we've got the lawsuit stuff. We can see on his way out the door, he said to Susan Rice and everyone else, here's the way we're going to isolate this guy. So one of the greatest liars in politics says that, but we don't need always fact-checking. Yes, we should check numbers. Yes, that data is important. But sometimes the stuff that goes viral with his team behind it, with his side behind it, if you'll just step back from emotion for a second, you can realize, okay, I don't know that I need to fact check this. I can just use some tiny little tools like thought and looking at the video I'm watching and looking at it through a slightly skeptical lens. I'll show you this in a second. When you're looking at videos and you're looking at it through a skeptical lens, don't let that kill great entertainment. I mean, yes. If you're watching a show and it's way, way off and, oh, this is a plot hole. Hey, plot holes are fun to talk about. But don't get too skeptical. For instance, when I heard about the animated feature, King of Kings, I thought, animated Jesus, I don't think so. And then when I was invited by Angel Studios to watch it, I thought, okay, I'll do this because they've been partners in the show. But I said to sales, I really don't like animated features of Jesus. I think Alex was here when I had the conversation with Jen. Okay, I'll watch it, but I'm not going to like it. I refuse to like it. So my wife and I sat down and watched it, or actually lay down and watched it. And not only did I like it, there was a turning point in the film that I think is so potent as an evangelical tool. So just real quickly, this is effectively Princess Bride meets Well, let's see. Princess Bride meets a great Bible story. And it's told through the lens of Charles Dickens telling his kid about Jesus Christ, because Dickens was a Christian. He wrote a document called The Life of Our Lord he shared with his family. The Princess Bride portion of this is that. This is a dad telling his little son the story of the gospel. Because he's such a good storyteller, it's so grounded in biblical fact that there's a turning point. First, the little boy is imagining watching Jesus and watching the disciples and watching what's going on. And then there's a turning point. And it causes him later to go to his brothers and sisters and do the most miraculous thing. That's no longer in theaters, and this is an important note because it's something you should watch, and I'm going to give you tools to do that. I'm also going to let you be on the team that launches the next movie like this, or the next Sound of Freedom, or the next series like The Chosen. I'm going to put you on that team. Here's how. Go to angel.com/Todd and sign up to be an Angel Studio Premium Guild member. You get to watch you get to watch King of Kings immediately. You get to stream all their fan-curated shows. You'll get 2 tickets to all their theatrical releases, 2 free tickets to every theatrical release, and you'll join the team that's going to go out and thumbs up or thumbs down the next movie these guys put out and promote. We get on that team together. It's called the Angel Studio Premium Guild member. It's angel.com/Todd. So the imagery on this is powerful. The words on it are powerful. And it's easy to get drawn into the emotion of this. And this is where Barack Hussein Obama would like us to live, in the emotion level. If I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon Martin. The police acted stupidly. This is when the ocean tides will begin to recede and our earth will begin to heal. We are the people we've been waiting for. That was his bag. So they like emotional takes like this. But do we really need fact checking? Watch this video created on a high-end cell phone, uploaded in good video quality, all without electricity or internet.
People always ask me, how do you even cook if you have no gas, no oven, no stove? The truth is, we don't have anything, but we are Palestinians. And when the world tries to make us give up, we find a way.
So this was done, and I don't know what she's reading from because it can't be pencil and paper. And I don't know who did the text over. It must be AI, but that has to have electricity. See, Barack Hussein Obama wants us to believe that we absolutely can't do anything for ourselves in terms of truth. So when he came out and said, if you like your plan, you can keep it, why wasn't that in the bill? Why wasn't that on the first page of the bill? Why did they have to force people to purchase it? That wasn't fact-checking. That was a simple logic check. And in the case of that woman, I'm sure there's places that Israel is destroyed going after Hamas. We all know that. And we also know that there are places in so-called Palestine where Israel has been very careful to not do that, such as where that lady lives and still has internet. It wasn't a fact check. It's a simple logic check. How did the video get there?